How are we doing there, boys and girls? Manthieus here, and welcome back to another video. So we've got a bit of a topic of discussion today with the Dragonflight Alpha being in full swing. Lots of people are getting their first glimpse at what some of these big sweeping profession changes are. And a topic of discussion that's come up not just on my channel, not just in the streams, but I've also seen other content creators start suggesting the same thing. So I thought I'd chip in with my 2 cents and maybe start a bit of a discussion on it today. And that is, should the gathering professions, so here we're naming sort of mining, herbalism, skinning, should those just become a baseline profession? We have cooking, we have fishing. Every single character that we create in World of Warcraft can gather up some meat, cook some food, cast their rod into a pool and get some fish. Why do we have to walk past the herb? Why do we see the shiny rock and we cannot swing a pickaxe at it without a dedicated primary profession? Sure, it's been the same thing forever and a day, but it doesn't make total sense. So let's take a little bit of a look at it. I put my thoughts down on paper and I just want to bring them to you guys in a short little video today and see if we can get a little bit of a discussion on the go. Firstly though, I've got to give a bit of a shout out to my Patreons. You guys are the champs, you guys are the ones that make it so I can do what I do, and more importantly, you make it so that I don't have to chase those views and don't have to, use egregious, horrible clickbait thumbnails here on YouTube. So big shout out to you. If you're a Patreon, you're a star. If you're looking to become a Patreon, potentially, you not only get to support the channel, but I also try and pay back by giving you access to things like my full TSM setup, and there's some private channels in the Discord for some more one-on-one goal-making opportunities there. But anyway, the topic at hand, we're talking about the gathering professions. I tend to think it's about the right time to do this. Gathering professions, I tend to feel for most people are just a way to maybe spend a bit of downtime and make a little bit of gold. And there's nothing against that. Nothing against that at all. It's a very effective way, especially at the start of an expansion when everything's new, everything's fresh, and everybody wants all the new shiny stuff. The gathering professions can be a really, really good way to make a bit of gold. Making it baseline for everybody, though, I think is a fair way to sort of level that out a little bit. We know full well that going into Dragonflight, there is some significant changes that are going to hinder the average player's ability to make gold in the game. To, pay for those repairs, buy those consumables, this sort of stuff. For one, the mission table's going. The mission table, not everybody is fully utilized, but the mission table is kind of a nice little way for people to get access to materials that they wouldn't necessarily have, maybe for their professions, or in most cases just to throw up on the auction house occasionally to sell. Also, systems like the calling system for the world quests. I would not be too surprised if we see a similar version of the callings in Dragonflight. It's a bit of a staple of the world quest system nowadays, but even still, we've seen it frequently at this point. The calling system has been in the game for as long as world quests have been in the game primarily. And I think a lot of people are just a bit tired of it, to be honest. So another alternative way for the average player to be able to make a bit of gold, I think would be good. Cooking and fishing has its limitations, but giving people access to go out and do a little bit of mining, pick up some herbs from time to time, can't really be a bad thing. Why now, though? Why now? Why are people making a bit of a thing of this now? Now, for me personally, I've had this opinion for a long time that the gathering professions should be secondary professions, or maybe I'd almost go as far as just making one secondary profession and calling it gathering. The whole hunter-gatherer sort of thing, of that you can pick up herbs, you see a shiny rock, you're going to hit it with your with your pickaxe, and mine it up. I don't see any reason why the average player shouldn't be able to do those very simple tasks. To reiterate that, let's look at tailors for a minute. Tailors can run around and they can see a mob that's been killed and they can take the cloth off that mob. Everybody else has the ability to get the cloth from that mob as well. Tailors have a little bit of an advantage because they know what they're doing with the cloth, right? They're meant to be the professionals at using that material. And so when they take it from a mob, they get a little bit more of it. You could pass on that same benefit to the likes of blacksmiths. Blacksmiths are meant to be the experts at using these raw stones and metals to turn them into fantastic pieces of gear, why shouldn't they then see the shiny rock and be able to extract it? Look at like herbalism, alchemy. Alchemy is the same scenario. Alchemists, they take all of these herbs and they turn them into fantastic potions and flasks. Yet, without the right skill, they have to walk past the herb that they know how to use, right? Thematically, it doesn't make sense. Now, I know it's been that way in the game for like years at this point. How old is World of Warcraft? What, like 18 years old or something silly at this point? It's been in the game forever. But just because it's been in the game forever doesn't necessarily mean it's the best way of doing it, and it can't change. With this total ground up revamp of the professions, there's a strong chance that players are going to want to engage with that. That it's almost like it's not even almost like Blizzard have been on record now of stating, I can show you this here real quickly, Blizzard actually want the professions to be one of the pillars. They want it to be as powerful a feature as PvP, Mythic Plus, and raiding. The team want professions to feel like a pillar, just like PvP, Mythic Plus, and raids. There should be the same level of goals to pursue. They're going to put enough time and effort into these crafting professions to make it worthwhile of people spending a good amount of time with them. And if you have the gathering professions taking up one or maybe both of the two primary profession slots, you have to then start making a choice. And I don't think that choice is entirely fair. You're going to have to either choose, right, do I keep herbalism and mining because I use it as a way to make a little bit of gold in my spare time to cover my potions and flasks and food buffs and stuff when I go raiding? Or am I going to have to forego that to be able to play this new feature of the game? It doesn't really feel all that fair. I've put a bit of an extreme example on my notes here, but I think it's an example from a different perspective that showcases it quite well. If Blizzard were to turn around and say, here's a nice new shiny raid, it's got 8 bosses, it drops the best gear in the game, you can go and have fun with that. But if you do go and do that, you're then not allowed to do Mythic Plus. Why? People would, explode. If that was a scenario, people would explode. The internet would be on fire if Blizzard turned around and said something like that. And I know it's an extreme example, and I know it doesn't pair perfectly, but I think it goes to sort of emphasize my point that with the way the new professions are looking, and I want to specify here and I want to clarify, the new professions look incredible. The new talent trees look really good. The amount of customization of what you're crafting, the quality thing is being tied into it really nicely. From what we've seen so far, which of course, it's still early in the alpha, it's still very limited, but what we've seen so far is good. People are going to want to play with this. People are going to want to get on board. They're going to want to play with their professions. They're going to want to level it up. But if they have to, give up their passive way of making a little bit of gold at the same time, I tend not to think it's all that fair. So Blizzard, just take those professions and give them to everybody. Let people pick up herbs, let people mine, let people skin mobs. Ever so recently, they made the skinning changes so that one person can kill a beast out in a zone, and then everybody can pile in and skin it, and they all get their fair share of the loot. Why can't everybody do that without the need of a specialist profession? I think it's about time to do it, Blizzard. I think the secondary professions, or the gathering professions, I should say, should go primary. No, the gathering profession should go secondary. You know what I mean. It's hot. I need to go get a drink. So I'll leave it there for today, though, boys and girls. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. I know a few other content creators are sort of pitching a similar idea. We watched a video of Towley's today where he was looking at the specialization talent trees and very quickly came to the same conclusion, that why do they not just make the gathering professions secondary professions so everybody can everybody can play the game to the fullest. I think that's the best way of describing it. Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoy these kind of discussion-esque videos, please give a like to the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're new around here, and I'll catch you all next time. Have a good one. Peace.